I can't believe we missed this. I printed this off. It's a copy of it, but March 5th. This is in March 6th, 1933's paper, but March 5th was the date that Roosevelt ordered the bank holidays and put an embargo on gold and called Congress. And it's pretty interesting when you read some of the article from the old New York Times, and you can look up the presidential proclamation, which I think everyone should definitely do. Neat tidbit of history. Don't necessarily think it's going to happen again, but it's just interesting to read the viewpoint that the president had on gold back then and just some of the proclamations that he made. I mean, if you read here, whereas there's been heavy and unwarranted withdrawals of gold and currency from our banking institution for the purpose of hoarding, and whereas continuous and increasingly extensive speculative activity abroad in foreign exchange has resulted in severe drains on the nation's stocks of gold, and whereas these conditions have created a national emergency, and blah blah blah, it just goes on, and whereas, and there's punishments and, you know, proclamations. So there you go. That anniversary was just recently. Things are much better today, apparently. Today's close on gold was 1582.76, up 460 or 0.29%. Look at this, the dollar's hanging out around 82 points. It's pretty good, you know, being that we were sub 70s last year, but you know, I think that's all just a little bit of smoke and mirrors there. A lot of Fed activity, all this easy interest and credit and all, yeah, quantitative easing. I just don't see how it's still strong. Somebody's propping it up. Something has to be going on, because the dollar, I mean, I guess it, like Kaiser said, the dollar's just the leper with the most fingers left. Maybe it's just the strongest currency right now because it is. Oil, 90 bucks. It's still hanging up there. Let's go over some quick headlines today. It's kind of late tonight, so I'm not too animated, so I'm gonna be a little bit tired. But let's go over these real quick, talk about them, see what you guys think. Leverage is approaching 2007 levels. You can look this article up. I don't remember where I found it. I just cut and pasted these so we could remember them and go over them real quick. But this might be from financialsense.com under Stormwatch. But if you look at leverage approaching 2007 levels, we all remember, I mean, do we have that much memory loss to where no one remembers what happened shortly after leverage in 2007 reached the levels that it did? We had a nice precipitous drop in a lot of things at that point. Okay, it's 364 billion, approaching the July 07 peak of 381 billion. Okay. There was a video out on Bloomberg. I'd encourage all of you to watch it. March 4th, Bloomberg. Charles Nenner, I'm sure you can look it up. Research Center Executive Director Charles Nenner. He discusses the markets and is predicting a Dow drop to 5,000 this year. That might be a little pessimistic, or it might be realistic. We'll see. He's entitled to his opinion, and I might tend to agree with him. We'll see what happens there. So he's on Bloomberg Street Smart. So look it up, probably a good video for you. Interesting, China's riskiest property market just collapsed. Is this how it starts? So apparently there's some contraction taking place in the Chinese real estate market. Maybe, I'm sure you're all familiar with the butterfly effect. Who knows? This might have an effect on how much China is willing to lend to the U.S. It might really change China's financial position in the world, and thus affect ours as well, being that they happen to lend us a lot of money. We'll see. I don't know where it's going, but, you know, it's happening. It's news. There's what I just covered. March 5th, 33, Roosevelt ordered the 4-day bank holiday. It's hard to imagine a greater theft of the American people than their personal gold savings. This stolen gold was then exchanged to foreign banks for irredeemable paper dollars. Yep. 60% reduction in the purchasing power of the U.S. dollar in a single day took place then. Too bad they don't teach that in schools. And on to some current stuff here. American Eagles, I'm sure you're all familiar with this. They are soaring in sales at the U.S. Mint. February 2013, American Eagle gold bullion coin sales rocketed an incredible 238% over last year, while silver bullion coin sales during the same month more than doubled. Yeah, okay. U.S. silver and gold sees private equity interest in funding deals. U.S. Silver and Gold Incorporated, a producer of silver in Montana and Idaho, said private equity firms are interested in helping finance acquisitions of precious metal projects. You wonder why these companies would be so interested in investing in precious metals projects right now with the price drops that we've seen. Because they know they're going to go back up. We probably have 4 or 5 guys that would put somewhere between 50 million and 100 million into the deal, Blasutti said. They need us as a management team to build. We need their capital. Valuations are cheap, so I think you're going to see more of that happen. Okay. Basically, there's some big investment taking place in the Rocky Mountains with gold exploration and mines. And what you see here, what is that? If that was a stock, would you buy it? I would. I think it's pretty good. It's pretty, or I would say that's a well-performed stock. I don't know what everyone's excited about, saying, oh, gold, it's not doing too good. Well, I'll tell you what. Here's where gold became legal to own. So you can't really say anything about, it doesn't have a very long track record or history, because remember what we've talked about. It became legal to own in 74. Boom, took off. Obviously, there's going to be some emotion here because it's brand new. Think about it. It's only been on the market 4 years here. So people don't have a lot to base on where it's going, where it's been. So it shot up a little bit. Again, there was the 70s recession taking place. The Fed with Volcker. Interest rates spiked. There were some tensions in the Middle East. Okay. But then, Reagan becomes president. The economy stabilizes. Interest rates normalize. They're still pretty high, but, investors could make money through saving and playing the stock market, etc. And supposedly the U.S. money supply was fairly stable. Comes along here. Okay, we have 9/11 take place. Bush becomes president. We have Greenspan as the Fed chairman. Massive expansion of credit becomes available. The money supply of the U.S. dollar expands rapidly. A lot of debt's taken on. We start waging war. They changed some of the lending standards. Obviously, credit became readily available, so there were more dollars in circulation. The more dollars that are in circulation, then you have more dollars chasing a fixed amount of gold. So we saw gold skyrocket. And I believe that we're still on this hockey stick trajectory. Yeah, sure, we're right here now, taking a little dip somewhere over here, right? We're taking a little bit of a dip. But look at, over the big scheme of things, we've had dips here. We had a little dip here. Okay, we had a decline in this period. But, you're going to have some dips along the way. I mean, you look, this is a pretty volatile period up here where we are. But if you look at it, I can easily see it going up over to here. I think we're going to see 2,000 before long. So, stay focused. Keep paying attention to the headlines. You got to dig up your own news. Don't rely on CNBC or CNN. Don't rely on me, like we've talked about before. Go do your own research. Read some history. If you can, I would encourage all of you to read Professor Antal Fekete. That's F-E-K-E-T-E. Look up the von Mises Institute. Some good economic scholarly stuff there as well. But anyways, hope you're all doing well. Sorry I'm pretty tired today, but keep stacking, keep reading the news, keep paying attention, and hope you're all doing well. Work hard, stay out of debt, cut up your credit cards, cut out the things you don't need, and add some gold and silver to your pile. Get rich.